Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, friends. Welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. Maybe a little humor along the way too. And I have a question for you today. What would be on the label, the nutrition label of your brain? What would it say? High in outrage, low in nuance, contains 90% recycled material, may include traces of panic. I don't know. We think carefully about what we eat, but often consume information with no filter at all whatsoever. Hot takes, breaking news, productivity hacks, and opinions about those opinions, and opinions about those opinions about those opinions. Urgent insights about things that didn't exist yesterday. Remember, your mind digests all of it. And just like food, that input compounds and that leads us to today's idea. You become what you consume. Not instantly, not one time, but gradually, quietly. Repeated inputs become familiar thoughts that become your default assumptions. And those assumptions will influence your decisions in your direction. Remember, your mental nutrition matters. Thank you for joining here on Kindness Rising. Mike Sullivan and Nitty. Absolutely. My two friends. I'm over here on the East Coast. The first two people in the chat. Hi, San Francisco friends. Nitty, Mike Sullivan. I hope you guys have had a chance to connect on whatever it is you want to connect on over there in the Bay Area. I appreciate you both. Although, Mike, I think you're not quite San Francisco. I don't remember, but I know you're both West Coast, and it's amazing to me. And I am so grateful that you choose to get up bright and early, get your day started super early. I've been up for a few hours now myself, but it's 7:30 a.m. here, 7:34 a.m. Eastern, exactly to be precise. And here's the thing. We don't notice influence when it happens slowly. That's what makes it so powerful. It's the repeated exposure that creates our perceived truth, not always our actual truth, but our familiar truth. And that's what signal does. Signal creates originality, right? And we put that signal out, you put it out consistently, and then that's what becomes the familiar truth. That can become the familiar truth for others. And I encourage you to do that, to put it out positively with your perspective, because information environments and information consumption matters. Sully, okay, you were out in San Fran when you were younger. Okay, I knew you were connected out there some way. Like I said, I'm just blown away by people joining me at 4:30 a.m., getting their day started out on the West Coast. And just so grateful that you do. I hope that what we bring every morning for just a half an hour out of your day to think about things a little bit differently rather than the normal insanity. You can get back to your memes later. You can get back to your news and your outrage later, but maybe what you consume later will be influenced by what you do today. I don't judge you for what you influence. I do know, though, from what you influence, from what you consume. But what I do know from my own experience is that when I'm consuming positive, uplifting, and thought-provoking and interesting content, that's when I feel most interested and most provocative and most engaged and excited versus reading the stuff that brings us down or makes us feel perhaps designed to make us feel less than or designed to divide us to be rage baiting. I know I feel better about myself when I do that. And I hope you do too. I hope you do too. Get involved in the chat. Say hello out there. Let's get rocking and rolling this morning. I am glad you guys have chosen to come here. What? You know me with my buttons over here. I got confused. I don't need to explain it to you, but here, that's the one I'm looking. A little light jam to get us started. It's 7:37 a.m. Eastern here on the East Coast, and we're just glad you come to join us. Hope you're out there getting your day started. I don't know. That's my fake, soft AM DJ voice. It's freaking terrible. It's not who I am, but it was fun to try. Anyway, I do want to talk about our Be Kind Rewind. Our Be Kind Rewind to remember what came before that helps to inform us today. And I was thinking about this idea of compounding choices and literally what we consume, we become. And it reminded me of a movie, a documentary from back in the day. I don't even remember when it was. It must have been the 90s, early 2000s, 90s. I don't even remember. But you remember the guy named Morgan Spurlock? Morgan Spurlock's in Super Size Me, exploring what happened when a person consumed fast food consistently for 30 days. If you have a chance to see it, it's kind of interesting. But the results of what happened to him and how it affected his life wasn't shocking because he sat down and he ate a Big Mac and French fries. It wasn't shocking because a couple days later, a week later, he stopped in and had a shake. No, it was the repetition, the small choices repeated frequently, producing that noticeable impact. And information and content works the exact same way. A single post might not change us dramatically, but the repeated message, the influence of that repeated message perception over and over and over and over again. And earlier I was looking through a shelf of DVDs that I have. I just have we all have that stuff. I don't watch DVDs anymore. We have a DVD player, we have a Blu-ray player, whatever. We don't watch DVDs, but I was looking through a shelf of content that I have, and I found a DVD that I remember buying when I was going through a particularly nostalgic period. It's actually original Sesame Street content, like called Old School Sesame Street or something like that. And I was also thinking about how the content from then and the consistent exposure and social awareness and the right language and thought content can really create a huge difference. Same principle, but with a different outcome because the input mattered. The process is the same, repeated messages shaping understanding, and understanding shaping our behavior, and our behavior leading to who we are. As a man thinketh concept, James Allen, that we return to consistently. It all starts inside of here. It all starts inside of here, and what influences inside of here is what we see in the outside world. Right? It means we're always building our mental environments, and the question is whether we are building them intentionally with the right type of material that's out there and rising above the noise, at least for a little while. At least seeing that it's possible to do it is potentially huge, right? Absolutely. Who's out there? Good morning, Roseanne. I see you chiming in. Thank you so much, Mom. Welcome in. April Fools. I didn't even think about it. I should have done could have done a trick. Dang it. All right, well, maybe I'll have a trick on a different day. I don't know. Not going to try to think about that right now. Yeah, it's April 1st, and that's April Fool's Day. We are heading into spring. I can't believe it. Are there any tricks out there? Anybody been playing tricks or been tricked today on April Fool's Day? I should have done some research. Why does April Fool's Day exist? Does anybody know? I had a little research friend here. I could figure it out. But anyway, don't be a fool. Stick around here on Kindness Rising for another 18 minutes as we get up and get going this morning with a little hope, humanity, and heart, having a little fun. And I don't know. Those of you, my friends out there on the West Coast, getting up and at it, you've got some extra time to think about what kind of tricks you might play or get you up and get your mind sharp so you don't fall prey to anybody's foolish antics. All right, enough with the music right now. Welcome in again. I appreciate you. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to wake up with you, to get it going a little bit, to highlight positive things that are happening in the world. And I always like to give a little bit of a kindness spotlight. Our kindness spotlight is our chance to highlight someone out there in the world doing good work for good people, multiplying kindness, unlocking growth. That's what our mission is here. And there are lots and lots of inspirational stories out there, people, organizations in the world doing good, building with intention, positivity, and kindness. So here it comes, the Spotlight Anthem. And you all know I love the Spotlight Anthem, especially when the drop is. There it is. Today's Kindness Spotlight highlights individuals who encourage thoughtful curiosity and intentional learning. And there's a woman I want to talk about, Laura LeConte. You know her? You know her? She writes about curiosity and how experimentation helps us think more clearly in a world full of distraction. Her work absolutely encourages people to just ask better questions rather than chase those fast answers, to explore small shifts in thinking patterns that can produce meaningful growth over time. I had her pulled up for yesterday, because remember yesterday when we were here, I was talking about I had content I didn't get to. I'm going to recycle it. I'm going to be so cool. And I did that. What I failed to do was bring up her profile to share, to bring up the website. I'm going to try to do it on the fly here as we talk about a person who, geez Louise, I can't remember. There she is. We love our music too. Having fun now. All right, sharing this. Holy moly. Is she there yet? There she is. From overseas. Author of The Tiny Experiments. This is what was fascinating to me, this idea, right, of tiny experiments, doing little things, being hyper curious and trying little things each day in order to move us forward. Yep. Profound, practical, and generous book, a thought-provoking guide to doing more trials and making fewer errors. I love that. That's what attracted me to her work, and Kid is keeping me interest here. You know, I like to lean into some of the neuroscience and the psychology and things. And Anlor, I love that name, Anlor, uh, is encouraging people to do that. Absolutely, absolutely. Meaningful growth, looking for those tiny experiments that can work to help us over time. All right. Good morning, Holroyd. Good morning, Adam Holroyd. I appreciate you still coming out here every day. You're first over at Mornings in the Lab. You're first here at Kindness Rising, and I appreciate your position in that and the fact that you continue to come out and join us every day. That's what matters. Not every day, most days, many days. Appreciate it. I come here every day. I will always be here. You have a life. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I come here every day because it helps me. It helps me every day to get up, give me something to do, to get into, not give me something to do. I enjoy doing it and it's important work, but it gets me into that rhythm of accountability for myself, for you too, right? And as I do it, I'm building my brand, right? And proving how signal matters. I'm sending out my signal. I hope I'm not just creating noise. I'm not trying to fragment. I don't want to grab your attention for just a second and let it go. I'm hoping that I can give you something thought-provoking, a hook to really put into your day. That's why I'm here. And I appreciate that you come along with me right now. Absolutely. All right. So, and we always give you something specific to walk away with. It's homework. Yeah, homework from a morning show, I guess, is what we're doing now. Not really. It's just something to think about. Maybe it gives you something to just put your mind to that will help to move things forward, especially when we're in spirals or we're inside of our head so much. I definitely do that, and I look for little ways to pull myself out of it. And I hope that what I give you here as our kindness compass are things that you can carry with you. The first thing is the most important is that self-awareness. We talk about awareness. Audit your inputs. What are you consuming repeatedly? We get caught up in these things. I know I do. I get caught up in it, and all of a sudden I'm like, why am I watching this person constantly telling me their thoughts and their opinions, including me, I guess you come here. But it's ironic, and is this what I really want to do? There are some people who I want to consume their information as thought provoking. Jason Pargin, I don't know if you guys know Jason. He's an influencer that's out there. He's one of my favorites in terms of thought provoking Gen X content. You are what you watch and you listen to. Absolutely, Sully. Same concept. So audit your inputs. That's what we're talking about. Choosing depth over novelty. Sure, we all like to see the unique things, the new format, the new silliness. Then it gets old really quick because everybody gloms on and it becomes a fade and it's memeified, and then some of them go on to last. But the truth is we can choose depth over novelty. The beauty of the systems that exist is it's all out there. It's all there. It's what you choose to influence you, right? It's what you choose to put your mind to. Yeah. And excuse me. And the attention grabbers are out there trying to come up with something new to grab your attention, but new does not always mean useful. Doesn't always mean useful. We need our discernment to keep us focused and filtering that stuff out, because man, it works. The brain chemistry kicks in when you're looking at things. Next thing you know, a half an hour's gone by, an hour's gone by. We've all done it. Unless we choose to consume with intention. And that's our third point, third idea. Audit your inputs, choose depth over novelty, and lastly, consume with intention. That's what it's all about, being in the moment. So easy to get distracted and pulled away from ourselves. It's amazing. And the last is, I'm going to give you a bonus point. I said 3, audit your inputs, choose depth over novelty, consume with intention. And the last, and what I've really, really suggest, and I'll be glad to help you with it if you're interested, is create over consume. And create, when you create, you create with purpose. Your mental nutrition that can compound what you put out into the world compounds for clarity and creates momentum for others. I've seen it here as others have come on to our show, have come in, and they've said that this is influence and it helps them to multiply the goodness. Right? That's our mission: multiplying kindness and unlocking growth for good people doing good work. And that's why I'm here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to help us all do that. Selfishly, it very, very, very much helps me to get my day going, for sure. Absolutely. And I appreciate everyone who has stuck around today. So it's April Fool's. I can't believe it. The first quarter of the year was like, boom, like that. Absolutely. A lot of businesses, I know businesses that I've worked with, everybody kind of measures in quarter. And I know I like the second quarter. The first quarter, you're wondering if things are going to work out. How are things? There's a lot of times are a little shaky in the beginning. You have your front loaded costs in your business. For those businesses that are on annual budgets, you have your you got your front loaded costs, and you're like, holy crap, what's going to happen? And then by the second quarter, the things that you know are going to happen, your revenue streams are kicking in, ideas are floating around, people are starting to go, okay, things are getting better. At least that's what it was for me for 30 plus years of annual budgets in the world. So as I think about this in my days back in corporate, April 1st was a big day because it was kind of like, all right, here we go, Q2, let's go, let's roll, let's get moving. Not that we weren't moving in Q1, but basically I feel like Q2 is key, because if you don't get it done in Q2, it's going to be really, by the end of June, it's going to be hard to get it recover. Very hard to recover if by the first half of the year you're not where you need to be. I don't know why I went on that little tangent. I was just thinking about April 1st and other April 1sts in my life, and what it means. It's all arbitrary, technically, anyway, is also another perspective that I have. But we need these structures in order to keep us moving forward, for sure. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the choice, the time that we are making the choice, that moment of the choice. Am I sticking with this? Am I moving on to something else? Sometimes it happens so fast in an instant when we're scrolling. But here's the thing: that choice has now become the creative act. Does that make sense? You're creating your world, you're creating your environment. What you choose to ingest is now creating your world. And we can shape our environment, and we can choose signal, and we can contribute signal. And that's what going live does for me every day. It helps me to contribute to the signal to stay on track. A little bit of tunes here. Sorry about that crashing noise. My stool wants to move around a lot these days. I think the wheels are getting looser. I actually slipped off of it during a call the other day, which is one of the more ridiculous things that has happened to me in a while. Absolutely. I wish that there was a camera rolling when that happened, because let me tell you, I just dropped straight to the ground, right off my stool. I was laughing. Anyway, because I can laugh at myself. That's part of what I do here at Kindness Rising. It's part of what I do to keep my day going, being able to laugh at ourselves, right? Angels fly because they take themselves lightly. That is the line that repeats over and over in my head. And so that's why I too take myself lightly when things happen that are outside of my control. It's part of what happens when you go live. You just start to learn to go with the flow, because otherwise you can get really, really twisted up. So I just want you to think about that. I thought it felt more brilliant, I think, in my head. Is it morning in your state? Absolutely. 12 logo dead. It is morning in my state of mind, and in my state. I am on the East Coast of the United States, in the upper part of New York State. 12 logo dead. Tell me more. I'm interested about where 12 logo dead comes from. Very interesting. All right. Thanks for joining me anyway. I am winding down for the day, of course. I come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern for sure. And I hope you'll continue to come back. 12 logo dead. Mike Sullivan, Adam Holroyd, Needy, Mike Sullivan. I already said Mike Sullivan. Yes, you're out there too. The whole crew, welcome in and welcome back. Get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Next, today is a Wednesday, so 8:30 a.m. Eastern. You can also catch It Starts with Joyce with host Cheryl Raphael Whitaker and her friends Beatrice and Atlas and Zola and a whole crew over there for a full hour starting at 8:30 a.m. It Starts with Joy on the Mornings in the Lab Network. I'm Matt Roof. I come here 7:30 a.m. Eastern for Kindness Rising to get you started on the Morning in the Lab Network. 12 logo dead is from Asia. All right, welcome in. Yes, we are an international show here. I am glad you are here from Asia, from San Francisco, from Canada, from Florida. I'm trying to think of where other people are from. Tell us where you're from. It's fun. That's the beauty of this digital world we are living in. And so it is time to wind down. Just remember this: you don't need perfect inputs. You just need better ones. And those small changes in what we consume, that can create meaningful changes in how we think, for sure. And our thinking will turn to our action, and our action will become our identity. And soon we become who we are meant to be, as a man thinketh. So let's continue choosing signal this week. I will be back here tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I know you will too. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get-after-it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.